Taylor? Did you anticipate you'd ever be back?
No, I didn't. Up until whenever that trade happened, about a week before that. I always thought that I'd finish my career at Collingwood. Footy's a funny game though. There's funny things happen, and it's been a bit of a whirlwind obviously. I'm still coming to terms with all that's happened, but I'm super excited to be here. I've been up here for the last 2.5 weeks, just getting to know the place and all the boys and the staff and getting settled, and so far so good, so I'm enjoying it.
What has the first impressions been like of the club and the midfield group, I guess, you'll be going into as well? Yeah,
there's a really exciting buzz around the team. Obviously we've brought in some more mature players to help a young list that has super talent, so the boys have been training really hard. There's some guys that ran really good times today in our 2K time trial, and that's exciting. Just a really nice club, really welcoming. Both staff and players have been great, so looking forward to a couple of weeks before Christmas, and then really settling in the city lifestyle after that.
When did the prospect of the trade come about, particularly in regards to the injury at the end of the season?
About the Wednesday after we played in the granny, my manager was bugging me all year about how I guess happy I was playing in a different role, and my response to him every time was, I don't care as long as we're winning. And then it got to a point where he had to make some moves, which was probably about, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks before the grand final, where he said, are you happy for me to go out and explore? And I said, yep, but I don't want to hear about it. We'll chat about it once we got a Premiership Cup. And then, the rest is history. I ended up injuring myself and missing out on playing in that grand final. And the following Wednesday, I came up here and met with Tom, Horse, Charlie, and some of the physios to chat through my body. And then I had a couple of days to chat to Collingwood and make a decision.
The last month of the season was pretty rough for you, dealing with that injury while the Pies were flying. How have you dealt with that disappointment looking back?
It's been a really difficult 8 weeks. Certainly played a role in a small part in me wanting to probably remove myself from the footy club, in a sense. I don't think I'll ever fully get over that. It's not just me, it's my family, my support network, the people at the footy club that put so much time and effort in, and then you fall one hurdle short. So, it's heartbreaking. And it was so bittersweet because there were so many people at the football club that I'd been side by side with for 10 or so years who I knew deserved it. And so I was extremely happy for them, but you just want to be a part of it. And they don't come around every day.
Hell of a role with us today. You're doing okay with it all now? It's kind of settled in for you?
Yeah, no, I'm doing well. Yeah, I've been super lucky. I mean, the Swans have been fantastic for me. I actually jumped on a plane the Sunday following the granny, and I went to Europe for 5 weeks with my fiancée. That was well overdue, and that's probably the best thing I could have done. And like the Pies boys have also been, and the support at the Pies that I got, that 10 days leading to the grand final was absolutely amazing. And I'll be forever grateful for their support and what they did for me over 10 years. And the last 2 years, I think I probably learnt more in my career than I did in the previous 10 years. So about myself, about people. I find myself here now, and probably a little bit different perspective, and looking forward to a new chapter of my footy life.
You mentioned the role before too. I guess coming up here to Sydney, if you're going to play in the midfield, getting handle the ball a bit more too. There's a lot of young guys around. You kind of, I guess at this early stage already, kind of like the idea that this can be your midfield and you can help bring those guys short?
I don't really see it that way. I mean, there's so much talent there, and there's guys that are so established. Millsy, Parks, Rhodes. It's going to be a collective effort. I just want to play a small part in that, and I definitely think that my best football's played in the midfield, and there was no hard feelings about how things played out at Collingwood. I mean, there was some pretty good players in front of me. So I know deep down, if I didn't think that I could come up here and contribute in a successful way, then I wouldn't have wasted the time of Horse and his team, or my time. I mean, it's a big move, moving myself and my fiancée up here, and I definitely feel like I've still got good footy ahead of me.
You say you've come up to Sydney with a bit of a different perspective. What is that perspective?
Yeah, I mean, there's the last couple of years, I guess my perspective has changed. It's just a different football club now where they probably need some leadership. We're privileged at Collingwood to have such great leaders for such a long period of time. So, yeah, I just want to contribute as much as I can. As I said before, I've learnt so much in the last 2 years that maybe some of that knowledge can be passed on, and that can help us, get further up the ladder and finish, one step closer to winning a premiership.
And you buoyed by the fact that the Swans have brought you experienced players in because they feel they're very much in a premiership window, that anything's possible for this group? Yeah,
that was certainly a big part of my decision. Horse and his team were really bullish on where they want to go, and I could tell that when the news got out about Brodie and Joel and Jordan. So, they feel like they're a couple of pieces away from being a real contender, and look at our list and what they went through last year with their injuries, and a bit of luck goes their way, the season might end differently. So, had a bit of experience in, and hopefully our younger boys keep getting better. It's a long way away from September 30, but we've got a bit of work to do. But there's certainly blue skies ahead.
Obviously, you and Brodie played together for 30 years at Pies. Did you have an inkling at all before you moved up that he was heading up this week?
Only sort of what you guys would report in the media, to be honest. He had absolutely no idea that I was coming up, because I had no idea. So that probably helped the situation. I remember after I came up here on the Wednesday, I gave him a call and just asked him what he was thinking, and clearly I took that into consideration in my decision making. I'm rapt to see him happy. He's too good a player to be playing, obviously, too, we all know that. So looking forward to seeing him back to his best.
How much of a driver is last year for next year, for 2024?
That's a good question. I've always been a pretty motivated person, just to get better and be the best version of myself. So, yeah, it's an interesting question, because it just feels so out of reach at the moment. In the back of your head, I think everyone that started training in the last couple of weeks is thinking, I wouldn't mind being where Collingwood was in September this year. So, but that's a long-term view. We're sort of taught to take it day by day, which is a bit cliche, but it's far more pragmatic.
Couple more, guys.
Sally, you spoke before about, I guess, the roller coaster of this year too. Like, just on you and Brodie kind of coming up here together, you spoke about a similar experience. Like, footy aside, is it nice to have a mate to kind of come on this journey with as well? Yeah, that has been, and for my partner as well. That has been nice. But to be honest, the club have been so good. Just coming up here a couple of weeks ago, I feel like I've been here for a couple of months. Sort of been bouncing around with some of the younger guys and getting to know the eastern suburbs here, and the footy management have done a great job in making us feel really welcome, and making my fiancée feel welcome. So I'm sure, I hope Brodie feels the same way. But I feel pretty settled now. I've got to relocate still and do a few things logistically, but I feel like I can go out there and train hard and put myself in a good position to perform well next year.
Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you head to the website to check out the Nike Pre-Season Hub.